So it's no secret that I'm extremely excited for Cyberpunk 2077. It's one of the few games I've ever pre-ordered, and I constantly look out for promotional material and gameplay videos. Cyberpunk is one of my favorite genres, and 2077 is a clear love letter to both the genre and the tabletop game.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Yes! Yes! Right there!
And that's why I have to talk about the autistic shit show that is the gender controversy. CD Projekt Red came out and announced that they are removing gender options from character creator, thus leading to a backlash from people assuming the company is going woke to win over the exact same people that constantly harass and dox their employees. But when you really dig deep into what exactly happened, you find that things have pretty much been completely overblown. For both sides, honestly. No, gender has not been removed from 2077. All they really did was remove the word gender from character creator and allow you to put a male voice to a female body and vice versa. So if you played Saints Row, it's pretty much the same style as those games. It's really not that big of a deal, and characters still refer to V as whatever gender you wish them to be in-game, according to the deep dive video that CD Projekt Red put out. So calm down guys, things aren't going wrong for CD Projekt just yet. Honestly, the only real mistake they made was the explanation they used when they came out with this. They tried to say this was a decision to be more inclusive, meaning pandering to people that will not buy your game in the first place, but really they should just double down on this cyberpunk aspect. Talk about how since transhumanism has gotten so advanced in 2077 that the human body is basically just seen as worthless meat that you can change at a whim, pull a ghost in the shell or something. And I have to emphasize this point since this was the thing that freaked everybody out. Now, I will say that certain people definitely stoked the flames of outrage, not pointing any fingers, but there were definitely some folks that did what they could to make this seem worse than it actually was, which is pretty scummy since all it will do is make everybody's complaints afterwards seem just as petty as this one. But why were people so willing to turn on CD Projekt just for dropping the inclusivity line? Is it because gamers are entitled babies that don't want to play with Thai ladyboys and women? No. And I feel like this is a point that most other people covering this issue seem really apt to forget. The reason that dudes got scared at this is actually super reasonable, just misplaced this time. For years, companies have come out and dropped that inclusivity line, talking about diversity and inclusion, representation for all sorts of media, games, TV, movies, comics, everything you can think of, and every time it's been a hollow excuse to hand-wave away terrible characters and subpar stories. It's like getting mad at Pavlov's dog for reacting to the bell at this point. Just because CD Projekt Red is a great company doesn't mean habits and paranoia can just immediately vanish, especially since the social justice lunatics seem absolutely desperate to bully them into bending the knee. Hell, half the reason people were outraged from the start was because it looked like CD Projekt was trying to win over the same crowd that outright doxed their employees for jokes. Obviously, that would frustrate everyone that has seen countless companies fall in line to this stupid woke crap. Though that very crowd of overly moralistic assholes decided this decision wasn't good enough and are still whining for more changes. Because that's all they will ever do, you have to stop listening to them because they are not there to push for shit that actually matters.
How's about some potty power, silly woman? Come with you.
Because even though they'll never admit it, these woke assholes just want to live out a personal fanfic instead of actually getting a good story that would challenge them. This is all that it's ever meant. I'm being serious, that's all this representation crap means. Same reason why they push movies like Captain Marvel, which is a blatant, brainless power fantasy, instead of films like Widows, which has genuinely strong characters and is a fantastic movie. All it is a childish desire to have a fucking blank slate to put themselves into. They don't give a shit about context, or motivation, or characters with flaws and a good arc. No. They want some power fantasy cartoon level bullshit. And we've reached the point that people are just tired. They're tired of constantly hearing about current year and inclusivity. They just want escapism. They just want to be a big titty cyborg mommy and kick ass. People want escapism. Especially since every aspect of entertainment seems dead set on doing the opposite of that now. Diversity is a hollow corporate talking point now. Right now, hearing giant corporations talk about hiring women or minorities or pushing social issues is the same as seeing the pastor at church talk about Fortnite. It's humiliating, embarrassing, and everyone just wants it to end. But the mentally unstable lunatics insist they're saving the world by putting minority characters in ads for multi-billion-dollar franchises. And this all comes back to Cyberpunk because this exhaustion in cynicism, as stated, doesn't just vanish because a certain studio said it over another. This is the same generation that watched BioWare rise and fall, that saw countless studios they loved be gutted and turned into gross bastardizations of what they once cared about. I'm not saying this magically makes their points right. As stated, this entire situation was an overblown knee-jerk to an announcement, but I'm saying that immediately throwing everyone that complained into the same group, calling them all hysterical man-children or something similar, means ignoring a lot of context as to what got them that heated in the first place. Now, I have to emphasize, I never believed the original story in the first place, because I knew if they decided to remove gender from the game altogether, it would involve reworking countless hours of the game for something that actively hurts the role-playing experience. Why would you take away options in a role-playing game? Because the entire point is to see what people would do when given a role. Yeah, that's kind of why they call it a role-playing game. But yeah, this just seemed absolutely impossible for CD Projekt Red to just take out a major aspect of the protagonist's identity for shits and giggles, and they only really ever talked about the character creator. So, I'm simply saying that a lot of the people that responded to this issue seemed quick to the trigger in regards to just insulting the people that panicked and completely disregarding their side of the issue. I get it if it simply comes down to hype and excitement making this already small problem seem microscopic, but it still feels like purposely ignoring a chunk of the situation. But this is the internet, and asking for a rational argument about something is like trying to convince a bear not to shit in the woods. Still, at least we know that Cyberpunk still looks amazing, and from everything that has already been released about the game, I doubt there's any chance it will try to be politically correct. It already revealed stuff like torture, illegal organ harvesting, extreme body modification, corporate influence and exploitation of social issues. This is going to be a dark and heavy game, which fits perfectly. So all I can really say to the people that say they're going to be dropping pre-orders thanks to this controversy, give it another chance. If you want to drop a pre-order, go right ahead, since it's honestly a bad habit to get into, though we're all guilty of it. Wait for word of mouth, reviews, let's plays, whatever you need to get info on the game. Then if you seriously still feel hesitant about dropping full-priced money, go ahead and pirate a copy to check it out. If you end up loving it, buy 2077 from GOG. All proceeds go to CD Projekt that way. If you hate it, just uninstall and feel happy they didn't waste money on it. This is all I can really say on the matter. It's an issue that has more sides than just people freaking out because of my representation, but it's still not really a problem in the grand scheme of things. Hopefully we'll get more gameplay soon and we'll be able to see just how much this game can live up to the hype that has been built around it. So until next time, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to remember that the only goal in 2077 is to get Keanu Reeves to bend you over a table and make you call him daddy. See you guys.